Hi, everyone. Allison Steinberg here with Lindell TV. We are with Brigitte Gabriel, who is here defending one law, one constitution. Congressman Keith Self just held a great presser today. Talk to us more about what brings you out.
Well, what brought me out today is the introduction of the Preservation of Our Constitution Act of 2026 to ensure that only American laws will be used in American courts. This bill is the federal version of the state bill that we worked on the national level called American Laws for American Courts. That you saw me out there. I worked with my colleague Frank Gaffney. You're going to interview him later on the passage of this bill across the United States, because with the rise of migrants and immigrants to our great nation, they are bringing with them laws that are not compatible with the U.S. Constitution. They did a study at the Center for Security Policy a few years ago and found out that Sharia law was used in 22 states and 143 cases. In the United States, most people think, oh, this is a European problem. And we obviously are seeing what Europe is dealing with right now. You have, I think I heard, over 180 parallel Sharia courts operating to British courts inside England. We're seeing the same thing happen in Germany. We're seeing the same thing happen in France, in many countries in Europe, where the Muslims who immigrated to Europe are trying to basically introduce their law and make it the law of the land. They do not want to abide by British law. So what this bill says, and I couldn't find a better time to introduce this bill, the Preservation of Our Constitution Act of 2026, the week of 4th of July, celebrating our 250th birthday. The United States Constitution is the document, is the bedrock of the success of our nation. We have become the greatest nation on the face of the planet because of our Constitution and the wisdom that our founding fathers saw in giving us the Constitution. And this is why people came from all over the world to the United States, seeking freedom, seeking protection. They escaped persecution. That's why they ended up in the United States. And so we want to make sure that no other law that is not compatible with the U.S. Constitution will be allowed to be used in any American courtroom. And the reason we did not say Islamic law, we just said the Preservation of the Constitution Act of 2026, is because if you are a British company, or if you are an Australian company or a French company doing business with an American company, and you get into litigation and the company says, well, we want to use French law or we want to use British law, that's fine, because that is compatible with the U.S. Constitution. You can do that. But we do not want laws in our country that render a woman's value half of that of a man, which is what Sharia court does. We do not want laws in our country that takes a woman's children away from her and gives them to the father. It doesn't matter how underage they are, because he's the father and she's worthless. We do not want any man in this country beating their wives, abusing their wives, torturing their wives. And then when their wives seek protection, they go to a judge and the judge says, well, because, the husband says, well, I'm an Afghani, I want to be tried under Afghani law or under Somali law or under Bangladeshi law. They cannot do that because what's been happening is, in these domestic cases in particular, women have been sent back to their abusers to go into some Sharia court that says, you've got to listen to your husband because he is your head, he is your boss, basically he owns you. We do not want these laws in the United States. We want to make sure that whoever comes to our country, they are welcome here as long as they abide by our Constitution. They come here legally, doing it the right way. They abide by our Constitution. The Constitution is the highest law in the land. And we will fight tooth and nail to make sure it will always remain the highest law and the only law in the United States. And that's why I'm here.
Which is so incredibly important, especially at this point in time. As you mentioned, we're approaching the nation's 250th. It is an incredible time to celebrate, but also look to where this nation is potentially headed. I mean, look at all of the Muslims coming into the country. Look at all the illegals that were let in under Biden. I mean, it's a scary time. I see videos and American suburbs of just thousands of Muslims as far as the eye can see. And this is what is, celebrated even here in the halls of Congress by many sitting members of Congress. Why do you think it is that so many of these people come to this country and then want to change the very, foundation of everything that this nation stands for?
Because they came here for the freebies. They came here to settle in the United States and to spread their religion, not to adopt our Constitution, our values, and our way of life. Because if they just were immigrating because they're seeking a better life, They could go to Saudi Arabia. They can go to the UAE, United Arab Emirates. They can go to Dubai. I mean, my goodness, you've got business people from all over the world going to Dubai. You can still pray at a mosque. Your children don't have to speak another language. They can go to school in the Arabic language. They can continue their education. You're not changing the weather. You can go there, enjoy the same weather, the same language, the same people, the same faith. They are coming here because they are coming here to siphon off the goodness of the American people. They're coming here for the welfare. They're coming here to steal, to rob, as we are seeing what the Somali communities are doing in the United States, along with many other Islamic communities. And it's amazing that we are seeing this prevalent within Islamic communities, and people do not want to talk about that. I mean, look at the Somali fraud. If Ilhan Omar escaped here for her life, then why does she go back to Somalia as a VIP guest of the government? What are you still doing in here? You know, your family, all the Somalis can go back. And so this is why we are doing this, to preserve our constitution. And they are coming here because basically, because of our good-heartedness, we are allowing them to come in mass. And you cannot assimilate people when they come in mass. We have had Muslims, and this is a very important point. We are not against Muslims. There are Muslims who have come to this country for generations. You know, we've had Muslims in the United States prior to 2000. Nobody had any problem with them. We had Muslims in Europe prior to 2000. Nobody had a problem with them. The problem now is they are coming here not to adapt our way of life, not to become a part of the fabric of America, to make America great, not to work, to contribute, to build, to make America the greatest nation on the face of the earth. This is not their mentality. That's not why they're coming. This was the mentality of the people that came here before them. This is a mentality of people like me, who came here as a legal immigrant and said, what can I do to make America great? Not what can I do to make Lebanon great. I immigrated here because I chose to adopt the United States as my home. And I do everything I can to make this country great, to build in this country, to pay my taxes in this country, to create jobs in this country, to improve the lives of Americans in this country. Those are the original immigrants that came to this country. But the new breed that's coming here right now do not share this attitude, do not share this point of view, and do not share this vision. And, you know, those who want to come here, they have to agree that they will adopt our way of life, that they will respect our way of life. They may not share every opinion we have, but the one thing we all share is the Constitution of the United States, and we will protect it at all costs.
Amen to that. Well, you're doing an amazing job trying to keep America great, and we're so grateful for you. So thank you so much, Brigitte.
I encourage people, if my message resonates with you, go to actforamerica.org. actforamerica.org. We are the largest grassroots organization, freedom-loving grassroots organization in the country. Join us, start a chapter in your community, become a member, and stand with us as we fight tooth and nail to preserve our country.
And Brigitte Gabriel, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.